It's no secret that women face inequalities when it comes to politics. Whether it's in elections, reproductive rights, equal pay, or sexual harassment, women seem to continuously draw the short end of the stick. However, students at the Met School in Providence, Rhode Island are determined to break this glass ceiling. The students already consider themselves to be politically active and are hoping to keep the conversation going even at school. Freshman Orly Juarez is grateful for her political upbringing and discusses what this past election meant to her and to other young women of color.
I think that in general, having anyone in power who's obviously doing the best for our country is important, and especially when it's from a minority group, such as women, people of different races, people who are LGBTQ. And as we see more of these people rise up to power, in this case it is women, I think that it encourages us and allows us to then hope for the same future for ourselves. So it kind of gives us a chance to actually say, wait, if someone like me is in power, then then maybe I can be in power too. So
Congressman David Cicilline agreed on the importance of this past election and his appreciation for his women colleagues.
We have the highest number of women ever elected to Congress currently serving. Women really brought us into the majority in the Democratic caucus. Record numbers of women ran and record numbers of women won, and I think we're going to continue to see that, and I think it's great for our democracy. They're incredible colleagues that bring a whole set of experiences and talents that our country needs.
As Congressman Cicilline said, a record number of women took office after this past election, something that spoke volume to young women across America.
There's a lot of congresswomen now, there's more than ever, so I think that every woman who's participating in government in general is doing a good job, even if they're on the other side, because it's proving that women can do the same thing, and it's inclusifying. You don't have to be a big politician and run a campaign to make a difference in your community, even if it's just a small one.
Even former Met student Tanya Hurtado, who works to pave the way for women of color in higher education, was eager to talk about the role of women in politics.
I think it's time to have a woman president, but that's just my personal opinion. I think it's way overdue. I think that right now we're living in a very different time where we see so many different crazy things in the news, and I think other countries have a completely different perspective of us. I think that, this is a time where women should definitely speak up and raise their voice and talk about the issues that really matter and the issues that are important to constituents. And I think that there's so many. There's education, there's women's rights, there's also human rights too. And I feel like this is a time where we need to be vocal and we need to stand up and support one another too.
Student Diane Holland encourages individuals, especially women, to utilize their First Amendment rights.
You have a voice. Use that voice.
Met students will ensure their voices are heard as they prepare for their own class elections, which are set to take place within the year.
The students are now running for next year's spots, and Nellie Gorbea, our Secretary of State of Rhode Island, is actually bringing in the actual voting booths we use for the state elections to the school for our student government election in 2 weeks. So that's pretty cool. So students are exploring how identity impacts them as people in the world and those around them. So I consider all of that sort of political awareness raising work.
From the Met School in Providence, I'm Rosalita Heldoffer.